In room 902 where the numbers fly, Mr. Ames got the knowledge vision for the sky. Got the chalk in his hand and the graph on the board. Teaching polynomials never gets ignored. Mr. Ames, Mr.
Alright.
A, making math make sense. Teaching
Evaluate expressions with rational exponents. Here's our steps. Number 1. Rational exponents again are fractional exponents. Let's just say 4.37, but evaluate just means get a number. You won't have anything like x's or y's or anything like that. Number 1, rewrite as a radical. So here's our first example A. I'm going to write it here with a radical. And then I'm going to write that in the inside, the base goes inside. And we've been having this silly phrase that we've been using. What is that? Top in. Top of the fraction goes inside the radical and bottom out. So the bottom of the fraction goes on the outside of the radical. So the inside will go the top here, put a 1. And then the 4 the bottom will go on the outside. Now you could break this down by hand, but we also can save some time using a calculator. Let's do it by hand. So if I break up 625, that would be 25 times 25. And then you can break down 25 into 5s. Okay, so essentially, how many 5s do I have? I have 4 5s. Okay, so basically that is 4 to the 4th, right? If you do top in and then bottom out, you get 4 divided by 4 is just 1. Or your answer is just 5. Okay, that's doing it by hand. So let's show you guys how to use it by calculator now. I have this Casio, press it on. Okay, the button you're going to need here. Casios are very similar. I wanted to show you can actually just type 625 to the 1/4 power. Now this calculator can do that. I have a fraction button there. Type in 1/4. Gives you the answer 5. Okay, so you could use the radical, that's a cube root, index, and that one is the one we want because that has like an nth root. So press shift and that button here. And fill out the index and base there, or the radicand, and you get an answer of 5. Okay, let's try another calculator. This is a student-friendly one, so I did the same thing there. 625 to the 1/4 power. Now this calculator is here on the outside, and this one you're going to have to actually type the x, or the index, that number on the outside first. So let's type the 4. Then second up arrow, or caret, that gives you the radical sign. And then go ahead and type your number there, 625. Go ahead and press enter, and you have an answer of 5. Okay, let's try this calculator. It's behind here. So this one you have to type in the radicand first, There's the button I want in the back. So I'm going to press second y equals, nothing happens, and then press the root, and then press equals, and you get that number. Alright, let's try example B here. You have a base of 128, rational exponents. We're going to have now a radical form, which we learned earlier. So the base becomes the radicand number inside. And then the top of the fraction goes inside. Top in. Inside the radical. And there's a 2. And then the bottom of my fraction goes on the outside of the radical. Bottom out. Okay, let's go ahead and use our calculator now. Now, some of you, calculators can't do all of it at once, so you could type in 128 squared and get 16,384. Now, the calculator is trying to find 7 identical numbers that multiply to get this number of the radicand, 16,384. Okay, so there's also this button here called the answer. So if you don't press anything in your calculator, it's another trick. Some calculators have it. So there's the button I want, second, x to the power. So I get this button, I press 7, and you could type in 16,384. Or you just press answer, which we did previously, and you get an answer of 4. That's one way of also doing it with your calculator. Okay, with this calculator, I'm just going to type in that number first, 128 squared. Press equals. I get 16,384. And now I'm going to press 7, second, and then I have my answer, and you can also get that. Okay, let's go to example C here. I have 216 to the negative 2/3 power. Automatically, anytime you see a negative exponent, you want to put it over 1. See a negative, basically make a house, upstairs, downstairs. Now this expression with the negative exponent, it's actually going to go downstairs. So you move inside a house, put the box in the wrong place, you move to the right location, and then you're going to take off the tag. So the 216 now goes in the down or the denominator, and you're going to have 2/3 here, but I want you to notice that the negative sign is now gone. Taken off the tag. Okay, you're not switching, but if there's nothing left in the top there, you have something, it's still a 1 there. Okay. Alright, now we're just going to do 1 over, then we're going to rewrite it as radical form now. Let's go ahead and do that. So 216, the base becomes the radicand, top in, bottom goes on the outside here. And now we can put that into our calculator. 216, second power, get this number 46,656. And then you can type into your calculator the cube root of 46,656. So second, up here, this caret button. And you can also use this button here. You're going to type in your index first. And you can have and our answer is 36. So your answer is, pay attention, 1 over 36, not just 36. So to summarize, negative switches from top to bottom. Write it in radical form. Then go ahead and simplify it. Alright, so last example here. Let's go over D, see the negative. Go ahead and remove that downstairs and make a fraction right away. That's the key. You can make anything a fraction by putting over 1. So we've done that. (243 to the 3/5 power). Remember, the negative sign is gone. Now we're going to change this into radical form. So radical, 243 is my base. It's going to become the radicand. And top goes in, bottom goes out. I can type that into my calculator. Let's try this one. Remember, if you push the button in the back there, this calculator can handle the fraction. So I did a fraction button, and then my radical sign with root 5, 243 to the 3rd power, and I get an answer of 1 over 27. So 1 over 27 is our answer. Okay, number 38 here, I have 27 to the 1/3 power. Notice there's no negative, so I don't have to put it over 1. Rewrite as a radical, so let's go ahead and do that. Big radical sign. Remember, bottom, out. Bottom of the fraction goes on the outside of the radical. And the top goes in, so I have 27 to the 1st power. It's basically just finding the cube root here. So here, we've typed in the index first for this particular calculator, then the radical sign, then 27. This one has it back there. there you'll see the same thing. And you can also type this as a rational exponent. So 27 to the fraction button of this calculator, or you can just do 1 divided by 3. Okay, this calculator, you can try the 27. And this one in the back there, you're going to press it a second to the y equals, and then you don't press anything, and you're just going to type in 3 as the root, and then press equals, and your answer is 3. This graphing calculator, press math, and it'll be number 5 is the one you're looking for. Alright, question number 39 here. 256 to the 1/4. So again, step number 1, rewrite as a radical. So the top goes in, my base becomes the radical stuff inside. Bottom is our index, so we're going to go second up arrow, and we're going to have to type in this calculator the root or index first, then second up arrow here. And so I have 256. We just practice to the first power, just in case you have something bigger later, and your answer is 4. Equals 4 there. Let's try it with this calculator here. Okay, this one, let's just clear it. 256. Type that first, and then the button we want is, you press Y to the X power to the first power, just equals 256. Then I want that one behind there, so if it's behind, you have to press the second button first, then the Y equals button, which gives you, now nothing happens on your screen, so pay attention. If you press equals, you get an answer of 4. Alright, number 40. I recognize right away that there is a negative sign. Only when there's a negative do you need to make it over 1. And we're basically trying to simplify this without the negative. So you put it over 1, you make anything a fraction. And basically, that negative sign tells us to now move this whole thing here downstairs. That's what the negative does. Okay, so now I have 1 over 16 to 3/2. They didn't necessarily switch spots, it's just the one there is to show something is still on the top. So the top goes down, because if you don't, then you might automatically think it's just 16 to 13/2, but 16 is in the denominator, but there's still something in the numerator. Okay, let's put in radical form now. Base 16. Top, we learned this past week, goes on the inside. And then we learned bottom out. Okay, So now I want to highlight this in yellow to show you that if you put this yellow in the calculator, remember where it goes. It goes in the bottom of the fraction here. So let's pull out a calculator to help us. 16 to the third power. And then third power in this calculator is top right here, y to the x power. And then press 3 and then equals. So you get 4096. Okay? Now, basically, we want to find an index or square root. So that's the easy answer right there. We just press what I see right here. But the one we're kind of working on more consistently is the second y equals. So go ahead and press that. You'll see the second there. Y equals. Type in your index here 2, and then press enter, and you get an answer of 64. Remember, the answer is not 64. So it goes here in the bottom, so your answer is 1 over 64. Alright, so what's the difference between 39 and 41? Well, the left side over here and the right side over here, one has a negative, one has a fraction. So only when it has a negative do you start off right away with putting it over a 1. So let's do that. So put it over 1, negative tells you it's going to go downstairs. And now you write it with no negative. And there's still something left in the numerator. Okay, so now let's write it with a radical sign. Square root of 81, top goes in, bottom goes on the out. And what if I get my calculator for the yellow goes there and there in the bottom there. My calculator graphing. Okay, so the button you need is on math and then number 5. My root or index is 4. Go inside by pressing the right key and then 81. Remember, anything to the first power is just itself, but you could write that if you want to. And just press enter and your answer is 3. Remember, the answer is not 3, the answer is 1/3. Let's put that there. There's 3. Okay, box your answers. Okay, so in your calculator, you can go back and highlight and press enter, and then actually come back down here and paste it. And if you do something here, I learned a trick. Alpha y equals. Alpha y equals. Alright, so what it's going to do is bring up a fraction. And, or you can just do this, like put 1 over that expression that we just got, and you get the answer of 0.33, which is 1/3. Now, if you want to convert the decimal into a fraction, press math, press number 1, and you actually get the answer of 1/3. Okay, number 42, we basically took the base and we put it here on the inside the radicand, 1024, and then the top goes inside and the bottom goes out. Okay, so now let's calculate ready. Let's try to use this calculator. So press on, clear it, 1024 to the third power, so 1024. Now y to the x power, so that's just going to be a 3. And you get this huge number, right? And then you don't have to do anything, so we just need 5 identical numbers. So we're going to press second, and then y equals. That gives us the root and the radical back in there. So second, y equals, and then you're going to press 5, and then equals, and you get the answer of 64. And that's my answer. Try with a different calculator here. Try this Casio. So this calculator is going to shift and then x to the power. 5 is your index, 10, 24 to the third power, and you get 64 as your answer. Let's try this calculator here. If you go to math and then number 5, you can fill it in. This calculator is a little bit different. So there's square root, those are opposites, and then the one we want is above this up arrow or the caret that has a radical sign with an x, which is the x represents the index or root. It's hard to see. Ours is 5. So in ours, you have to press 5 first, then second, then the up arrow or the caret, and then you type in 10, 24, and you can also do it to the third power using the caret. Press enter, voila, it's going to be 64. And let's see if this calculator can do it. 1024 to the 3/5 power. And you also get the answer of 64. Alright, next problem. Number 43. So if I look at number 43 and you compare it to 42, what's the difference between the two of these? Well, one of those they're both fractional exponents, rational exponents are called. But you should recognize that one of them has a negative. That negative tells me to put it over 1 as a fraction. And with the negative sign tells you to go downstairs. Let's go downstairs. Now we've left the negative sign off, so that's gone now. And the 1 is there just to prove to you that there's something left there. So that 16 to the 5/4 is not just on the top of the fraction anymore. Okay, so 16 goes now in the radican. And now we just have to deal with the fraction there. Remember, 5 on top goes on the inside, 4 is on the bottom, goes on the outside. Bottom out, top in. Highlighting here in yellow to show you your answer. And yellow will go on the bottom of the fraction. Okay, so we want a 4 as our root. Then I'm going to press behind there, so second, up arrow, and then inside our radical, the radicand, we have 16 to the 5 power, press, and you have 32. Remember, the answer is not 32, it's going to be 1 over 32. And there's your box your answer. Okay, this calculator, I have a little trick here. You're going to press from the home screen alpha y equals. This gives you ND, numerator, denominator, but ways with a fraction. And then you can type in 1 over math, number 5, root 4, and then 16 to the 5th power. Press enter and you get an answer of 1 over 3.
Yo, it's time for math. Let's drop that beat. Quadratic equations, bringing that heat. It's ax squared plus bx plus c. We solving it real quick, like 1, 2, 3. Negative b, yo, don't you stall. Plus or minus the root, we conquer it all. B squared minus 4ac, you know, divided by 2, that's how we flow. Quadratic vibe, yeah, we cracked that code. From parabolas, high to x-axis road. Roots on the graph, straight up no cap. Solving these equations, it's the math rap.